Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge ED. My name is Josh, thanks for joining me. If you're wondering why I launched it with ED, that's because part 2 of the Bonnie vagihalitosis saga continues, and she brings her husband in to talk about his ED. Stop it, Bonnie, are you crazy? Anyway, it's funny when we laugh at us, let's do it. Okay, so I'm super proud of my Bonnie video. This is how it always goes on my channel. The videos that I think should get the most views because they're the funniest, like that video, if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. Because like if you're down and feeling low and you need a laugh, that video will make you laugh. Bonnie's absolute insatiable need to be noticed and for everybody to know about every little detail, including her cooch, is astounding. Okay? And the things that she told us are bananas, vag bananas, okay? And so I laughed so hard, I was so embarrassed, and it's just the way it is. I like that people can laugh at my complete and utter embarrassment, and that's what we're here for, to laugh at me and be embarrassed about things. Because yeah, that stuff does hit me a little bit different. So now she brings in her husband to talk about our intimate life part 2, and the apparently it's about ED and all this kind of stuff, and ugh. Anyway, let's take a look at it. It's 20 minutes long. Oh my gosh. You again, there's people that were leaving comments, but you could not waterboard this information out of me. Okay, like we should know less than that. It's not about like there's so many comments that are so funny too, but there's a lot of comments that are like, look, we don't need to bring awareness to this. We know half of the planet has vaginas. Okay, we don't. It's not like, oh, did you know that you could have a flaming vagina that's like flaming hot Cheetos? Yeah, we know. Okay, we've known forever. But it's not something we need to know. It's not like she's out there telling people, you know, here's the goods on the goodies, because we know. It was just Bonnie looking for attention, and she got it, and she loves it.
Do you want the one with your heating pad in it? Is that too far away? I think I need.
It is, and your shirt is giving picnic basket.
Let's scoot it closer. Sure, Mr. Mushnick.
Sorry, Mr. Mushnick.
What is this Mr. Mushnick thing? It's an inside joke? Is it a movie? I don't know. This poor bastard.
So far away, I feel like we need to be a little closer. Ew, it feels so formal. I kind of hate
Oh my god, look at our house. Looks stupid.
it.
Take the flowers away.
No, I love the flowers. I love flowers. The way Oprah
Shit looks like paper.
loves drug. Okay, you ready?
The way Oprah likes drugs? Is that what she just said? What?
Do you see how like erect I sit and
Don't be talking about erectile dysfunction and then say the words, see how erect I sit. And of course, her whole chair's in the frame. He's to the right and almost out of the entire frame. Oh, Bonnie. Oh, Bonnie.
it's my habit, it's my nature, it's fine. It's your back, it's fine.
No, I'm ready to like recline this thing.
Do it! You should. Should we recline a little bit? Don't you hit that 3D. Don't you?
That painting looks like shit. I could do that. Stop spending money on dumb stuff.
Ah, how comfy. We're going to be talking about our intimate life, and I recorded my perspective and how things were kind of going on my end in part 1. We're on to part 2, and this is like Joel's
How things were kind of flaming on my end.
perspective and how things have been going on his end.
It doesn't look like he wants to talk about it.
Perspective's a loose word because it makes it sound like it's up to interpretation.
Please don't use the word loose and erection during this.
There's no interpretation. Like it is first-hand accounts of what has gone on. Like there's no. It's not perspective.
Again, why does Bonnie get to be the center of the picture and he's way over here? That's pissing me off.
It is like the reality.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Part 1 was my reality of what's been going. I actually love that. Oh my gosh, Joel. Yes. Part 1 is my reality of how things have been going with our intimate life.
With our intimate. That's what she says it. With my flaming hoo-hoo. Hoo-ha. Is it a hoo-ha? Hoo-ha.
This is part 2 of what has gone on with Joel. Take it away.
Why are you even here? Why can't Joel talk about his wiener by himself? You talked about your flaming vag by yourself. Also, a lot of people were pointing out some crazy things, like Joel was not getting checked. That's why he kept re-upping the diseases that were happening. Apparently, thresh on your tongue is part of maybe careful with what you're doing with your tongue kind of thing. People were making some connections, which I don't think that there's anything untoward going on. I don't think that about Bonnie and him. I don't think that Bonnie has it in her. I don't think that, maybe, but I don't think so. But remember that guy did come out with that video once talking about this whole family and how they would get together and do weird things. It's like parties and like nakedness and stuff. So you never know. I know Bonnie freaked. I'll tell you that much. Oh, and before I get going, guys, my store is now launched. Get wrecked, baby. That's the shirt that sells quite a bit. That's me looking all Canadian. I've got this one. Kids aren't content. These are just kind of shirts that get conversation starting, which is kind of cool. You're spreading a message and you're getting people to understand what that means. This one is one of my favorites. Kids can't consent to being influencers. Another conversation starter. A lot of people's favorite. Petty with a purpose. Also coming soon, the Never Forever collab with these chenille patches. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? It's a chenille, like a carpety patch. Never Forever is going to be launching again on my channel, Tyson's brand. But we're going to be launching Never Forever again as well. It's I wear this stuff everywhere. I love the Never Forever stuff. It's my favorite. And so that now is available at my store, and you can see them kind of linked down below here. You can go there, and I make the shirts myself, and I ship them myself because Teespring is likely going to go under. Like, that's so many YouTubers have relied on this thing to do drop shipping of our merchandise, and they crapped the bed so hard and didn't tell anybody about it, didn't tell creators that they lost one of their biggest manufacturers, and they just expected people to wait 6, 7, 8 months and still didn't get their stuff. So now I'm going to be fulfilling the orders myself with my homemade sweatshop here at the house. I'll be shipping them. I'll wear them first, in the bath and stuff, so that when they get to you, they'll smell like me. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. But if you request that, it's an extra $5. So I'm going to be doing that myself but that's why there's only a certain amount of designs, and I'm really only using black shirts for now, just because that's the most ordered thing. Black looks the best on everybody, and it's bold and white and black and stuff. Some of the Never Forever stuff, when it starts dropping, will have different colors, but there's other. So I have cheap t-shirts. Relatively cheap anyway. They're like nice shirts, but I mean, cheapest thing you get is a t-shirt. And then I have normal hoodies, and then I have Champion. Okay, and if you get Champion, that's why they're so expensive, because Champion quality material is actually, even Ask Tyson, okay, Champion hoodies and Champion crew necks are the best, most comfortable hoodies I have ever worn in my life. And they're premium, very thick, very good. That's why they're way more expensive. And a lot of people are already ordering the Champion ones. So if you want the more expensive one, it's the option. It'll last you 10 times longer. So just wanted to say, I've launched a store. And I want to make sure that you guys realize, when you buy shirts, anything with a design like this, okay, it's always best to wash it inside out, on cold, and hang dry. It'll last 10,000 times longer. I just want to make sure you know that. But I'm now a sweatshop, and I'm happy to do that for you guys. And I appreciate you guys. There's already 20 orders made, and I really appreciate you guys doing that. So thank you.
23, we were building the house. Building the house was a big undertaking. I knew it was going to be, and I knew it was going to be stressful. I didn't know how stressful it was going to be, and maybe it's just lack of experience, I guess, but
no, it's stressful no matter what. I have a couple of home builder buddies. Mark, one of my best buddies, he's a home builder. My buddy Chris, also a home builder, and they are very, very extremely talented at what they do, and very Mark's been doing it for what, like Mark 15, 20 years now, and it's still the most stressful thing I've ever seen these guys do. Like Mark, he's good at what he does, and it's less stress than it used to be, but it's still highly stressful. So no matter beginning or end, there's always stress in building homes. I'll tell you that. That's why home builders who are good at what they do get paid lots and lots of money, because that is not easy. It's actually so stressful, because the client's paying you an exorbitant amount of money to make sure the project is going well, and you are responsible for all the mistakes and everything else, and you get all the accolades in the end. But it is not easy. I'm doing a kitchen renovation, but I thrive in chaos, so it doesn't bother me. My wife, The audacity of dust. Okay? The audacity. My wife is so mad that there is dust everywhere. Like, how does it get in here? There's this plastic cover on this. I'm like, it's dust, man. It just gets in there. I don't know what to tell you. She's so mad. Anyway, it's fun. We're fine.
For sure, because we'd never done it before.
Yeah, so there are a few things that you take into account when you're building a home. When you take out a construction loan for your bank, you have a deadline of when that has to be done. And
because it's not a mortgage, it's different. That's how home builders do it, right? You take construction loans out, it's lower interest, and it's like a period of time, but it's not like a traditional mortgage.
Then there's also a dollar amount that you can't exceed. And when we took our construction loan, I wanted it as small as possible, so we kept the numbers a lot smaller. The bank really didn't like that.
Yeah, they wanted us to take more out just in case, and we were like, no, like, this is what we're going to.
No, you should have, and then listen to your bank, because then just don't take it if you don't need it.
This is what we're willing to take out.
Yeah, so that was some of the stress I brought on myself, I guess, but it was for good reason. I didn't want to surpass a certain dollar amount. But then the deadlines that come with it.
And how does this have to do with your wiener? Hope they tie it together nice.
We've got like a year and a half, whatever, or I don't know. It was a long time, but that time creeps up on you. Yeah. And so as fall, it was actually supposed to be June of 2023 came through, we were supposed to be done and closed on the loan.
Wouldn't that have been nice?
Yeah. Anyway,
Ruby got arrested.
We were nowhere near being ready to be done. The framing, everything, it just took a lot longer.
You hadn't even framed at that point?
We thought, which the bank kind of knows, so I'm surprised they give those deadlines. Anyway, regardless, they'd given us an extension on the deadline without penalty. Now, if you go over the deadline with penalty, when it comes to a certain point, it is a very large sum of money that will be due up front on the house. And it's a percentage, so it can be 3 or 4% of the house has to be paid right up there, and that's just penalties. Like, there's no
build it faster then, dumbass.
Value for it other than it's a fine.
Like, it's just astronomical. It would be unreal.
Yeah, on a multi-million-dollar home, like, these people are going to be binging him out of this. This is how we binging him out of this house real soon. There is no way that she's going to be able to afford the lifestyle that they have built into this mansion. They built this thing way too late into their channel. And then when Ruby decided to get herself arrested and go to prison and ruin everybody's life, that's what Bonnie's upset about. Is that her life, this lavish life that they've led, this giant mansion that overlooks the mountains, it's over. They're not going to be able to live here very much longer. They're going to have to sell this thing. They're not going to be able to upkeep on this $10,000 a month mortgage that they have. This is an insane house. Cost them million. I want to say a couple million. Okay, look at this wainscoting, and every portion of this house has some kind of wainscoting or some kind of design or gold lights and shit like that. This house is very expensive, and they are not going to sustain this because Bonnie's view counts are in the toilet, which is why she's doing videos about her vag that is aflame.
For anyone, and I will insert that I don't care if you're paying for a house in cash. The financial stress of building a home is very large.
Yeah, you just get sick.
That's why you hire other people to do it.
Seeing your debit card get pulled out for everything, you're just like, I can't, this has got to stop. It feels terrible. Even if the money's there, it feels terrible. It's not a comfortable feeling.
It's true, man. I'm doing this kitchen. Holy shit. But it's easier when it's Amazon. Dad math. You don't have to pull out a card. And then all these packages arrive. You're like, what did I order? Sinks and there's like, I have a what do you call it? A freaking vent fan that came. It looks really nice. I've got building that deck on my home. Wood used to be cheap. Okay, it used to a couple $100 you get yourself a deck. Now it's a couple $1,000 to build a deck. By the way, a 2x12 by 12 foot beam is $60 pressure treated. $60 for one piece of wood. It's damn, he's right. He's right.
So we were coming up on those two deadlines. We had already been given extensions, but we knew that we weren't going to get another one. We were approaching our dollar amount. Things changed.
Like brands backed out.
Yep.
Oh, brands backed out. I wonder why. So they're telling you something that they don't want to be telling you. So what happened is when your view counts, you get paid by your view count. Like when I do a brand deal, it's going to be a lot different than one of these people get a brand deal, even if we get the same one, right? Accidentally, it's funny because someone accidentally sent me a brand deal for another creator that it's about 50,000, 60,000 subscribers, and I was like, oh, not getting paid very much. When I realized that, you know, comparatively, a channel that's getting 200, 300,000 views per video is going to get 10 times more than I make. Or Mike Stoffer said this at the beginning of one of her channels. She's like, somewhere upwards $25,000 they were making for an ad read for 60 seconds. So the bigger you are, obviously the more money you get, the bigger the view counts. I get a decent amount of money for my ad reads, and I really like that. But what she's saying is they're backing up because their view counts are down plus everything that was going on. Now, do I agree with that? No, because I don't think that the sins of Ruby, and I know you're going to be upset with me for saying this, are on Bonnie. What's on Bonnie was her reaction to all this and the lies that she made to the public about it. That's it. But it shouldn't have been what was going on in the Griffiths family and the Frankies and all that. It shouldn't have been that ruined it. What ruined it was her channel literally just collapsing. That's what happened. Bonnie's channel collapsed. They made millions of dollars. I got to show this to you. We've talked about this before. 1.39 million subscribers and 890 million views. She's made $6, $7, $8 million off this channel, if they're all long views, which I think they're pretty much all that. She has made so much money. Her and Joel have made millions and millions and millions, just like This Is How We Bang 'Em, and nothing to show for it. So they were banking on having brand deals to build their house, and they backed out. Brand deals for me, I never bank on my brand deals. If they come, that's gravy. That's all that is. I never ever put it towards something and never expect it to come in. And too many creators are doing this to their families and ruining their lives. Your family is used to a certain way of living. Like, This Is How We Bang 'Em. And it's so funny because so many people are commenting like, oh no, you have to leave your $5 million house and move into a $1 million house. Oh no, boo-hoo. But that's it. These kids have lived a certain way, and now you're going to take that away from them because you guys shit the bed. And family content creation is actually down 80%, way more than, like, nobody's really watching. Everybody knows it's wrong now. There are people obviously still doing it, but it's never what like it was, and that's good. We're fighting hard.
And so we had to do a lot of scrambling at the last minute. That's why we installed our deck as a family, because it was just what we had to do.
That's awesome. Building decks are fun.
To get things done.
I like he's like, she didn't do shit. She made lemonade.
Cousins had to come help lay tile. It was so grateful for it.
Oh, laying tile. I think I'm gonna have to do it myself. 300 square feet of tile myself. Nobody to help me. Like, I can get my buddies. Here's the thing. All of my friends, Mark, Phil, Chris, all these guys, all own businesses, all do homes, roofing, all the kind. But I would never ask them because it's so beneath them to do it. Right? And if I'd want to pay them for their time, but they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do it. So I just don't even ask them. Right? I just don't. Because this is an unwritten thing. I got to be a man, and I just got to do it myself, man. So those days I do tiles, don't talk to me. Okay? I am going to be mad. It makes me illogically angry that how many squats I have to do when I do the tile, because when you lay tile, you dry lay it, make sure all laid, so you know where your cuts are going to be, you know everything's going to be, make sure you have all the tile you need, and then all the cuts that you have to make, so you're up and down, up and down, up and down, you got to butter the tile, you got to butter the floor, butter the tile, lay it down, and then you put your little spacers. So it's not that it's like very hard. The tiles are heavy, but every time you go, you got to get another box of tiles, you got to do this and that, and you're up and down, up and down, up and down, and you're fat potato like me. That starts to wear on you a little bit. But thankfully I have these sweet pants. Chris, my buddy, he has these pants. I think they're Timberland, whatever they are. But they're like construction pants made of like Carhartt style material, but they have pockets in the knees where you can buy knee pads that go into them, and you can't even feel that the knee pads are on. And so you take a knee every time, you're like, this is nice. A lot of OnlyFans creators are getting into these pants. Anyway, Bonnie here's got a pair.
To us finishing the house, Bonnie and I's intimate life was suffering a little bit because I was getting home super late, and by the time I got home, there was zero energy to do anything. Literally, like.
Also, her vag was aflame, so you couldn't do anything there either. So.
Trying to stand on my feet was just done. I was
okay,
so
I'm not going to say it was suffering because we were on wonderful terms.
Oh, yeah.
The frequency.
Oh, yeah, I have to say the thing.
was like really low. I started my timeline in August 2023, but let's take Joel's back another full year. He had already been working on the house for a full year, and we very much.
Why are you here, Bunny?
Underestimated the physical stress that it would put on Joel. How much weight did you lose?
Yeah, there was 1 month I knew I couldn't tell Bonnie how much I lost because she was not going to be happy with me. I came home and I looked in the mirror and I was like, wow, I look skinny. And it wasn't like, oh, Joel, you look good. It was like, oh, I'm seeing parts of my body I don't usually see. And I got
not that I was controlling about his weight, but I don't
Bonnie was concerned.
She always has to chime me back. Not that I was in. Okay, Bonnie. If you have to say the thing, it's not the thing. Stop saying the thing.
She didn't want me to. She didn't want my weight to drop because it meant unhealthy things were going on. She knew I wasn't eating enough or wasn't just so much. Anyway, I weighed myself. I was in the 140s.
I mean, you're 5'6", so that's okay.
Low 140s, and I had weighed 160 for 20 years now.
160, 165.
Yeah.
I love you at that weight.
Yeah.
I don't control his weight, but I love you at 165. Not a pound over or under. Bonnie is the most controlling person I've ever seen in my life. When she says she's not controlling, she absolutely is controlling. Because what she just said there was very, very... Imagine he said that about her. Reverse the roles. I don't like her a hair over 125. Could you imagine he said that on a video? Bonnie is the most controlling person I've ever seen in my life.
He's strong, he's healthy. Anyway, so the physical toll for a prior whole year, okay? And then the financial toll that we were just talking about.
The house deadlines were coming on.
Deadlines. And
is this his video or yours? Shut your waffle and let him talk.
And then we had that huge family, absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
And so there's...
Way to go, Ruby. You ruined people's mansion building. I hope you feel good about yourself, Ruby Frankie. Our mansion was disrupted by you breaking the law and hurting your children. Like, look what you did to us over here. We couldn't even do it for a year because Joel was well under the weight that I wanted him to be, that I strictly make sure he adheres to. Are you okay? I hope you're happy. Hope you did blanket training in prison.
My stamina. I mean, I just couldn't get out of bed in the mornings. But then you'd be sad because you didn't get up because you're like, well, I'm missing it, but I physically can't get my eyes open any earlier than I already am. And we were going to bed at decent times too. That kind of started setting the tone for like, something's going on here.
I feel like when we came home from Florida the first year, we both were kind of like...
These people were complaining about building their mansion and it's pissing me off, not gonna lie. But at the same time, they're like, we're so tired and we have no money. But the first time we came home from Florida, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding? You're complaining about spending money, so you buy an RV and travel to Florida for months at a time, which adds thousands and thousands of dollars worth of fuel and lot lease rentals and like and eating out and like, are you out of your damned vagina right now? Are you okay, Bonnie? I think the vagina heat got to your brain a little bit. I think there was a fever. Are you serious right now? You cannot be kidding me.
Scraping by, you were super supportive of me and my physical issues. Mm-hmm. And then my physical issues lightened up, and that's when we started...
You were super supportive of my fiery waffle. I'm sorry. I'm calling it a waffle from now on.
Started noticing that there's something not quite right with Joel.
Yeah.
And we started, I started asking...
Joel? No boner Joel. We're going to call you No Boner Joe. Joel. No Boner Joel.
Hey, I'm kind of feeling better, but you're not, interested in being intimate with me. What's wrong?
I'll tell you what's wrong. You are what's wrong.
Because that hurt me. I kind of felt like it was me. He's not.
It was you. This whole thing is all you. The dreams that you have, the mansions you build, the blame you put on other people. This is all you. You literally just told us that you restrict your husband's weight. Oh my gosh.
Attracted to me. He's not wanting to be with me. And I'm finally feeling better. And it's been... And I didn't take that into account the first year. I forgot that while
Gee, I wonder what the problem is. I forgot we didn't do it for a year. And you wonder what the problem is, Bonnie? He didn't forget. Oh my gosh, that's right. We didn't do it for a year. That whole part. My bad.
We're building the house. We were not super intimate.
No,
so it had been 2 years at this point. We're at the 2-year mark for our intimate life. The
2 years.
1-year mark for me being out of whack. And that's when we started noticing.
That's when I started being able to like pay attention to myself and be like, oh, well, I don't have a lot of desire right now. And it was not any like kind of like, oh, I'm not attracted. It was like, I've never been more attracted to my wife. Like I would just look at her with just the most fondness.
Guys around the world have just heard this guy talk and say that. And let me tell you about this. Okay. I've been married for almost, it's been 18 years, like that. I look at my wife with the utmost fondness, has never left my lips. Okay. And I'm not saying it's because I don't. I'm just saying that's the stupidest phrase I've ever heard in my life, and he's lying. I look at my wife with utmost fondness. Oh, that sounds romantic. Sounds like you guys are friends. Sounds like you're in a job interview. Remember when she cut him off? She did a video about how she was like, I'm arguing with him, I'm cutting him off. And the only way that she'd like let him get some was when she was horny enough and that she wanted it. Like this woman that's not fair in a relationship. That's not giving. Each person needs to give 100%. Okay. Now I'm not saying sexually. I'm just saying in all aspects. You both got to give equally. This guy has had to live in her shadow, has had to adhere to her principles and her wants and desires for their entire marriage. And I guess if that's what you like, that's what you like. But listen to this conversation. She's in this because she doesn't want him to give away too much. That's what's going on. She's so controlling. It's actually quite creepy. Blink twice. Wear a blue shirt in your next video, Joel.
But it was just like, well, this isn't working. Like, we're just not.
So physically, Joel was noticing that he was not working at all.
Why don't you let him talk about it?
It was like slowly.
Yeah, slowly.
Nah, I don't think that's what's going on. I think he was just looking for excuses because he was done with you. I'm honestly saying that. Now, I know 1 in 3 men or whatever, ED, whatever. This is, again, not something we need to raise awareness to because it is what it is. Men just deal with what they do. But, like, I just think he's him just being done. Like, I think there was a period in this guy's life during the stress of this build where he was like, I don't want to be in this marriage anymore. I think there's been lots of periods in their marriage where he has had that conversation with himself. But they were together for the money because that's where they made their money. So many creators have such a false marriage. It's so crazy. And they stay together for cash.
It was like...
This takes a little more work than it used to.
Yeah, we were being intimate, but nothing was happening. Mm-hmm. And that freaked me out. Like, that hurt me in my mind. Like, I just felt like...
Yeah, not him, though. It's always about you, Bonnie. Just about you. See, this was about his thing, but she made it about herself. Everything that goes on in the world, to Bonnie, it's how does this affect me, and how can I talk about how this affects me? Also, this damn, nothing centered here. It's pissing me off. But that's it. It affected me. Well, how do you think this guy felt? This is supposed to be his video. You're so selfish, Bonnie.
And that, what?
Well, yeah.
She's like, should I keep going? Wiener alert.
The whole time I thought, is this what your 40s are going to look like? Is this what our 40s are supposed to look like? Keep going back and forth in your head. You're like, well, is this normal?
I think it has something to do with your brain. Something's going on in your brain, I think.
Is this age appropriate? Like, you know what I mean? You're trying to justify, like, well, we're not in our 20s anymore and whatever, but you're just like, but I feel good, I guess.
That has nothing to do with it at all.
Yes, but I don't feel good.
And
I feel good, but I don't, you know? No, we don't. That's vague and dumb.
at this point, I was starting to climb out of my depression.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it was weird
that
because...
was difficult. Because I would see Bonnie, she was like, last summer when we got home from Florida, I had set a goal, like I'm going to get up and go running with my friend again. We're going to we're just going to get back to our workout routine. We kind of put that off while we were building the house, and I just never could get out of bed. It just was so difficult to get out of bed. Meanwhile, Bonnie's like up at the crack of dawn, 4 loads of laundry done, the kitchen's spick and span, breakfast is made, and I'm just like, how are you physically doing this?
Because she's not building a damn house. It's a lot different between building a house and doing a load of laundry, I'd say.
It's like, so I was seeing that Bonnie was moving in such a good direction. I could see a weight was being lifted off of her.
And for the
That wasn't weight. That was yeast.
first time ever in my existence of knowing Joel, he was not getting up in the mornings.
And not getting up in the pants.
He was not making plans to progress in what we're doing. We always have projects. We always have things that are needing to get done. And
I like how she says we. She sounds a lot like my wife here. You know what we should do? When my wife says you have to admit, Kathy, whenever you say we should, you mean me should. She's talking. If you didn't hear her, she said, I'm talking about the overall necessity for the project.
he wasn't doing them. And
I'm happy to do it, though. Sometimes. But I will not fold laundry. Kathy, I will not. And on principle, I will let that. There is probably 6 baskets of clean laundry in her little laundry pile zone. It's piled high. I washed it all. I know that's the easy part. But folding's not hard either. Can we be real? It's not hard. But it's time consuming. But putting away, also not hard, but also just it's those jobs you just don't want to do them. There's nothing worse than putting laundry away. Nothing. There are things there's just lines we don't cross. The laundry, I hate laundry. Okay? I think a lot of you would agree with me on that.
I was getting frustrated because I'm like, and I feel bad because in the moment, I don't think I realized that you were depressed. Mm-hmm. And so I wasn't being super sympathetic because
So I'll translate that for you. I was making it worse and compounding the problem because I was also yelling at him for losing weight and not getting a boner. That's what she's saying there. So she made it worse.
Me, I was like, oh, we are coming out of this depression, but there was no we, it was me. And
no, you were coming out of vag scoliosis.
Joel was in a bad way. I've never seen Joel like that. That was hard, actually. Just
well, it actually wasn't hard.
But I was worried because I thought he doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about our intimate life. He doesn't care about the yard. He doesn't care about projects.
Dude's building a damn house, lady. Give him some slack. Are you kidding me?
Like, that was hard.
Yeah,
that was hard.
He just takes it. He just takes it. You're right. That was hard on you. That I was doing everything and I couldn't cut the grass. I can see how that's hard on you. And your vagifibrosis.
That felt weird where it just felt like any project, it just felt too daunting. It was just like, this is too much.
You were building a damn house. She's sitting over there crying about it. This mansion she's living in right now. Not for long, but they're living in it. And she's like going to Florida at least twice a year in a $150,000 RV. And she's like, but you didn't cut the grass and do the other thing. You gotta be shitting me right now. Holy cow, buddy. You wonder why the guy couldn't get it up.
Yeah,
so
he
I didn't
wouldn't
even want
even
to
talk
start
about it.
on, and he didn't want to talk about
He
it.
wouldn't even talk about it because that was too daunting for
Just
him.
talking about the project was like, I can't mentally do this.
She's got too many projects for you on the go, bro.
It got worse. So it got worse.
Oh, it got worse. Let's get into the tea.
And Joel physically, like nothing. There was no response.
Flaccid's not even the right word.
Penis.
You know, just...
Fast forward to the next
They cut whatever he sent out after that. You know, just sitting there like a lump on a log.
year. Got home from Florida in...
Well, we were in Florida when it was like the most prominent, and we were just like, something...
You can't use the word most prominent when it's the least prominent. You know what I'm saying? Boner.
has to be done. So I started immediately calling doctors. And
Can you imagine their doctor? All right, your wife's in here with vaginitis, and you're here with erectile dysplasia. Are you eating something weird? Are you eating asbestos? What's happening right now? What is going on in this house? Maybe you guys need to take a break or something. Jeez.
I don't think it's necessarily doctor's fault, but the first thing they say is, well, we can get you pills for that. And you're just like,
No shame in that, I don't think.
what?
I mean, if the pills work, the pills work. Doctor's like, look, men go through this. Get some pills into you. Although I agree, I don't think I would want to be taking pills for boners. I don't know. Are they expensive?
Thing they offered Joel was the blue.
When I was in Mexico on the cruise, I went to get some. I forget what it was. It was. Oh, what was it? It was for the allergies because I had forgot my allergy meds. So I went to get some allergies. And they have, if you go to Mexico, or was it one of the islands? I don't know where it was. But there's like a pharmacy every 4 stores. And it's like drugs that you have to get over the counter in Mexico. You have to get done by a doctor here. So you could like go buy like lorazepam straight out the bottle. No problem. No doctor needed. And they were trying to sell the Cialis and the blue Viagra. And like just buy it. Straight up, you could just buy it. And it was expensive, man. I didn't buy it, but I was like, how much was it? Because I was going to buy my pills. And I was like, how much is that? And they're like, oh, it's like $30 a pill or something. For a boner? I mean, I guess if you have to.
And I was so proud of you. Joel said, absolutely not. There is a underlying reason and we need to get to it.
There always is an underlying reason. And it's you. You were the one underlying. You're the reason, Bonnie.
And
he's like, if the doctor didn't... Here's why the doctor did the pills first. He's like, look, I know the reason, but I don't think you're ready and willing to hear the reason. So here's a pill that's $30, and it will bonerize you.
And then what? They started testing your hormones, right?
Yeah, they started testing things and doing blood work, just doing the usual stuff. And what's crazy is those numbers come back and they're like, you're fine, you're healthy. And like, what?
You and your wife, totally fine, except for digiflaciditis and the vagicrocinus.
I don't know what you're complaining about, Mike.
So they tested his testosterone and it came back normal. But then they did a secondary testosterone level. So
kids are walking through it. Someone just came in the room like, oh, they're talking about dad's wiener. Bye.
The first level that came back means that his body is producing testosterone the way it's supposed to and the amount that it's supposed to.
And my number is actually really good, like high.
And that was, Joel cried when his testosterone came back normal because he just knew. He's just like, I think my testosterone is low. And like his muscle.
Let me get this straight. So the test came back that he had good testosterone, and then he cried about it. I think you need to retest it, buddy. I think they got the estrogen numbers mixed up. Yes, I have good testosterone. I think the indicator's not there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He cried.
He was getting skinnier. His shoulders were more slender than I've ever seen them. And then when they...
Slenderer than mine. He was wearing my puffy shirts and he's looking better than me in them. And I was like, we are not having this.
Tested the secondary testosterone level, which is the way your body absorbs...
You're available, like how much your body's actually utilizing of what you're...
That was really low.
That number is like didn't exist.
Which was sad, but very exciting because you can fix it.
Another kind of contributor that was really an underlying depression was my body. My body was not keeping up with what I knew it could be capable of. And if I did a project, I knew my back was going to be just kind of done for.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think this is not just men, but anybody over 40. Okay, I think what's pissed me off with this tile job is I know how my body's going to feel. And like I pulled up flooring, and now it's not bad because I have a little chair I was sitting in and put a little video over here but doing the whole floor. That's not so bad. I sat in the chair. It's just getting up off the chair, taking that big dumpster out like 150 times or whatever. By the end of the day, I'm just toast. I'm toasty McToasted. Okay? But I'm not looking forward to the kneeling with the towel. But maybe I can use the stool. Maybe get one of those like glass lifters for tiles instead, and like have it, butter it nice, hold it, because it's touching the tiles, getting cement on your hands just pisses me off. I don't know if it's like a sensory thing, but my hands getting all full of shit bothers me. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'll obviously do better than the last time I did it. It wasn't even that bad last time, but now I'm a little bit better. I'm gonna get the holder that holds the tile. I'm gonna back butter it while I'm holding it in my little stool. I'm gonna be able to pop it down, put my spacers in, and then move around. Like, I think it's the wheels that are gonna help. We'll see. I'm gonna be sore AF though. I know it.
And I know we're counting days on my back as is, but it was like the reality of that being done was that was brutal.
I heard if you have injuries and stuff as you get older, you can go to Tijuana and get stem cells. Is that a thing? Now, I've just heard inklings of it. I don't know really what it does. Do stem cells regrow things that are degraded, decimated? Is that what stem cells do? Someone who's done stem cell stuff, reach out to me. I'd like to know about that. I want some stem cells. You just drink them, or what do you do?
That took a lot of weight right out of myself, because I've always been physically capable of anything. If there's a physical task to do, I can do it. And to have limitations on that just felt just brutal. All of those aspects contributed to an overall depressive state that I didn't realize I was in until I think last summer. I kind of realized I was like, I'm not doing well.
And I think what was also super difficult that we really haven't talked about
talk about
for
it.
both of us, and I think something that weighed
Here come the tears. It's the Bonnie tears. Get ready.
really heavy on us was our family relationships.
Oh, no.
Really suffered.
Now, why is that, Bonnie? Now, did they have to suffer? Now, if Ruby did what she did, and she did do what she did, it doesn't mean that the rest of the family had to fall apart. That's kind of on you. You didn't have to. You guys could have came together even closer and been like, look, amongst this, we're going to come close together. We're going to understand what family means, and we're going to obviously never talk to Ruby again. But can be together. Why did this destroy everybody's family? You know, remember when Sherry and Chad called her out? That destroyed her, because that actually gave the information that we're all looking for about who she really is. But why did everything fall apart amongst this? It shouldn't have. If you had strong relationships, it shouldn't have.
And that has been very difficult for both of us.
That's because you're a control freak, and even with your own family, you're probably a control freak. And nobody wants to be around you because it always has to be about you. Because everything's about you, even your husband's bonerless behavior.
I will say there has been a lot of improvements.
Oh my gosh, we are night and day different places now.
Night and day difference, but there's still work to be done.
And there's always work to be done.
Yeah.
Especially, he put it on his list. He's always got work to do. She's cutting the grass. She's so pissed with that grass.
It doesn't matter if you've got a perfect family. There's work to be done in relationships, but it doesn't feel as completely desolate like it did before.
Yeah. I think like when we would go to bed at night, that's what we would cry about. That's what we would be sad about.
Not the boners.
So that was really, really hard for both of us.
If they wrote a book, it'd be called Harry Potter and the Non-Boner Flaming Vag.
For a while, I do feel like that has...
And the Cursed Waffle. Bonnie Hoellein and the Cursed Waffle. Yes! I gotta get AI to give me a book title. Okay, here we go. Bonnie Hoellein and the Flaming Waffle. It's awesome. Oh, it's fun.
Started to improve. That has been getting better, and that has helped us get better. Don't you think?
Oh yeah.
So at this point, we both know that both of our testosterone is low. My estrogen is
He just said his was normal and he cried about it.
low. So
What?
now we know, I think, what the issue
What we
is,
believe are the issues.
and I cannot wait for the next video.
So they're still not boning. You cannot wait for the next video?
We talk about where we've gone from there.
Yeah, we can't wait for that video.
One thing that I've really appreciated over this whole course of everything is that me and you have stayed so strong together.
No, they haven't. They literally had an argument on camera.
Like, am I your rack? You're my rack.
Rack? Am I your rack? What is she talking about? Am I your rack?
You might be soft rocks, but...
Oh, rock! He's talking about soft rocks because bonerless.
You're a lump of clay.
Squishy rocks. We're not really solid in ourselves anymore, but...
He's doing boner puns.
You're a nice silly putty.
That's right. No other silly putty.
We have always gone to bed very lovey. We have...
Shut up, Bonnie. No, you haven't. Stop lying. Stop lying!
We've never cuddled so much. We've never
Oh, man.
loved each other so much.
Shut up, Bonnie. You're so slow. We've never loved each other, right?
We've also never cried so much and had such a lack of intimacy.
Stop saying why. We. It's you.
That has been so sad.
That's the weird part. Is usually like you have a...
It's always been our reset.
Yeah, it is. It is a good reset. But like when you're feeling vulnerable, when you're feeling your spouse, you know, have a little conversation, maybe a little cry, but you...
A little bit.
After that, usually you're like...
Totally.
It like usually leads to something,
Yeah.
and that's always fun.
Okay.
And it hasn't.
And it hasn't. And that's been so sad.
We just knew that this is bad that neither one of us have been caring about it because we would just not talk about it. We just wouldn't do it. We just wouldn't make it an issue until this last little while. And then it's like, oh,
We gotta fix something.
we gotta fix something here.
Don't forfeit good times to think, well, we're just gonna get through this, because if we wouldn't have started addressing this, we would be in the exact same situation.
Why do you have to dress it on the internet so we can all hear it and make fun of you, though? Just do it in private.
Nothing would
And it
be
would be
getting
another
better.
year. And I know people, knowing what we know now, I know people that have been dealing with similar issues, whether it's depression, whether it is ED, who knows what it is, that they just say, well, this is what life is now. And that's not fair to yourself. So don't forego your own care. You know, this is when people say you gotta do self-care. This is the self-care they're talking about.
Sounds like you were doing self-care.
Self-care is going to the doctor and getting help.
It's getting help.
Shut up, Bonnie. You went on TikTok and did it.
For
And if-
yourself and for your family, for your significant other. Your self-care is not just for you.
Self-care is boners.
It's for everybody. It benefits everybody. You are entitled to find
I love the word boner.
joy in this life.
Sorry, I do.
And you need to do what it takes to find it, you know?
I'm sure that we have left things out. If you guys have questions, we're happy to answer them. So let us know and stay tuned for Friday's video because we're going to tell you what we've been doing.
I don't want to know. Bonerless activities and waffle taco? No thanks. No thanks! Anyway, there's Bonnie's sex life in a nutshell. Jeez, man, I don't... That was a dumb video, though. Everybody, take a deep breath. If you find yourself in this precarious position, or lack of precarious positions, do me a favor. Don't talk about it on the internet. Okay? Your husband did not want to do that, Bonnie. Don't lie. His paintings are ugly, too. But you're not ugly. You're amazing. You're probably wearing a sweet shirt or a sundress. My fave. Guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for being amazing. Don't forget someone has a huge crush on you. Big crush. You just don't know it. And I'll see you when I see you.